Hey guys, this is my character Shinigami again. It's been a while since I've been on here, but that was because my laptop kind of pretty much fried itself, and now I have myself a new desktop and a new web camera with it. So it's about time to start doing another video, if I do say so myself. And today I'm going to be doing a little special video that I've kind of been wanting to do for a while, which is my top 10 most anticipated predictions, or pretty much anything I would like to see or feel like we will see in Kingdom Hearts, the ones that I'm most eager about. And this is for Kingdom Hearts 3, to be specific, since, it has been announced. Yes. So, Kingdom Hearts. I am waiting for 2.5 HD remix because I do plan on getting that. But instead of talking about that, let's go straight down into my top 10 list. First, I have my most unlikely thing to be added, and that is a Recess world. If any of you watched the TV series from the past, Recess is about TJ Detweiler and his gang of friends who go to school and do things with Recess. But people like Miss Finster or Principal Prickly are always trying to mess things up for them. And then, you got Randall and the Snitch and all those kinds of things. It was one of my favorite Disney shows ever, and I would love to see it in the Kingdom Hearts games. But I will also say this. If they do put it in the game like this, they need to do something to make it good. Because Recess is not an action show. It will need to be made into an action. And my idea was that Dr. Slicer, the guy who took over for Prickly when he was trying to become principal of the middle school, he could be the villain of the arc, and Sora could fight him, and Dr. Slicer could be a Keyblade wielder who has taken over the school and forced all these strict rules against him. It could be pretty interesting for mini games and things like that. Maybe not a full world, but just something small where you stay inside the school. Again, I doubt this will ever be in the series, but I would love to play it. My number 9, any kind of gameplay changes. I know Dream Drop Distance, they had the flow motion where you could jump off the walls and swing around the poles and all those things. I haven't played Dream Drop Distance yet, but that sounds pretty awesome to me. I know people had some complaints about it and things like that, but I do think that if they make it and they can really make it work, that, well, it will work. So I would love to see it. Any kind of gameplay changes they have. But I'm not talking about changing like the core elements of the game. I mean, you'll still attack, and it'll still be fairly hack and slash, but with some strategy mixed in. But just any of those little gameplay changes. And I think we might have seen a little bit of hint of that in the Kingdom Hearts 3 teaser trailer, where Sora was jumping on top of that little, I guess, a strand of Heartless, whatever you want to call them. But any kind of gameplay changes, that would be my number 9. Number 8, I want to conclude the story with Organization 13. Anything revolving around Organization 13. I want to know who the rest of the members are. And something I think would be kind of interesting is if maybe a couple Disney villains were included in the mix as maybe incarnations of Xehanort. Spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry. But it would be kind of interesting to see that. I do want to be able to fight tons of organization members, or maybe not tons, but at least 5 or 6 in this game. That would do pretty well for me, and yeah, I would just want to see the organization story completed. Now, my number 7 choice. This is going to be another bit of a broad topic, is any kind of new world. So I know one of my main things that I've actually heard is supposed to be in the game, don't take my word on that, is Toy Story. And I would love to see a Toy Story world. And I think a lot of people would love to see it too. It's one of the most wanted worlds in the Kingdom Hearts series. And I know a lot of people want to do the entire first movie, and I would be cool with that, but something that I think would be cool is if we took the world from the first movie, but the main villain from the second movie, and fought Zurg. I mean, not that I would have any problem with fighting mutant toys or Sid or anything, but I don't know. I think I just have this thing for fighting villains that are my size. Um, I don't know why, but I do. But like I said, I will fight Sid again, or I will fight Sid for the first time if they put in this Toy Story world. Um, and since it's on the topic of still being new worlds, I do have some worlds that I would love to see in, like Wreck-It Ralph, or the new Frozen movie, or Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Treasure Planet. I would love to play any of those worlds, including several others. But with things like Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen, I don't really feel like they will be in. Maybe Wreck-It Ralph could make it in since it's a little older, but I don't see it. Um, I know a lot of people are also talking about like Marvel and Star Wars, and I'm kind of on the fence about it because, on a personal note, I would really enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't know if it'll work well for the series, and I don't know if it'll feel right. That said, I would love to fight Darth Vader. That would be pretty cool, even if they don't put an entire Star Wars world in there. Yeah. So number 7 was the broad category of new worlds. Now on to number 6. This is one of the most popular worlds in the series, and so with that, it probably has a pretty good chance of being in. But I want to see Agrabah return, and the reason I want to see Agrabah return is because I love Aladdin. Simple enough. Nostalgia. I love it. That's all you need to know about it. And in this game, I would love to see maybe an Agrabah take on the third movie in a way, where Aladdin's with his father. They go to the Temple of Midas and fight Saluk, or however you say his name. But for those of you who've seen the third movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you have seen it but don't quite remember it, he was the main villain, dude. And he had the little knife swords in between his fingers, and they had the golden hand that turned things to gold, and the Midas touch, that kind of thing. And basically, I would love to see that. Anything with Agrabah. Jafar is awesome. That's a fact. Alright, on to my top 5. And this will be my number 5, which I think with a lot of games that have come out recently, this has a pretty decent chance of being in. I want to see multiple playable characters, which, like I said, probably will be in. I imagine we will at least get to fight as Sora and Riku, but I want to do more than that. I would like to fight as Aqua, Terra, Ventus, Kyrie, Mickey, Axel. Any of those would be awesome. Throw in a few more. I don't care. Do I look like I mind? I would love to see that. Any kind of multiple playable characters. I love playing as tons of characters. I'd like to play as a villain. I said it. Alright. On that note, something that I think would be pretty awesome would be Kingdom Hearts Versus. Think about it. All the characters from Kingdom Hearts. You got Final Fantasy characters, Disney characters, Kingdom Hearts exclusive characters, all thrown into one game, and it's like a little versus game, like a Final Fantasy Versus, or something like a Soul Calibur type of game, but not quite Soul Calibur. Something like that. That would be pretty sweet. And I would kick ass with Jafar, because I love Jafar. Jafar is still awesome. Alright, now, on to number 4. Now, these are 2 boss battles that I really, really would love to see with characters that have never been in the series. And one of them I feel like still has a chance. The other one I don't think will really be in it because of what her character is like. But one of the ones would be Cruella de Vil, who, like I'm saying, I don't think she'll be in it. The main reason I don't think she'll be in is because of her smoking pipe. And I think that maybe the creators of Kingdom Hearts, Square Enix, might feel like they shouldn't put that in the game that's going to America. But at the same time, this is a Japanese company. So it's not impossible that we could see Cruella in there. And I actually have my own thoughts on how this boss battle could work. You know, we start her fur coat. She could use it as like a shield and something to smack you with. You know, just smack you around you, good and hard. You know, something like that. Um, her smoke. She could use it to try to blind you in a way. You have to fight through the smoke and all those kinds of things. And she could also use the smoke to maybe lift things in the air. Like she could have a chair, sit in it, smoke lifts her up in the air. You have to like jump up on top of furniture and everything to get her, smack her off, and then she'll fall out of her chair onto the ground. You have to keep swinging at her with your keyblade and take her down. I did this in one of my fan fictions. It was kind of awesome, and people seem to really like that fight. You know, the 3 or 4 people who've actually read it, and I think that would be pretty cool. Cruella de Vil. And my other boss fight that I want to see, this is also my number 4, I want to fight Gaston. We have not seen him yet. I want to see him. Nobody gets excluded from Kingdom Hearts like Gaston. No. Okay, Gaston. He's kind of a badass, in my opinion. I liked him as a villain. He's one of my favorites. I want to fight him. Square Enix, I'm giving you a hint. A big hint. Put him in there, and I will love you forever. Do not let that affect any of your choices. Put in Gaston, please. Number 3. This is pretty much a given that this will probably be in the game and not in any Kingdom Hearts 4, since I have heard that they're ending the Zainul saga in the Kingdom Hearts 3. But I'm really just anticipating the final battle with Xehanort, and I think a lot of other people are really looking forward to that too. We really want to fight him. We want to kick his ass. We want to beat him and get rid of him for good, and then move on to the next saga, where all the worlds will be joined together into one big giant map. And, oh wait, that's not part of this thing. That was a different idea that I had for later. But yes, Master Xehanort, we gotta fight him, we gotta beat him, and he needs to be tough as shit. We need to die 50 times before we beat him. Not really, I don't want to die that many times, but maybe 5 or 10 times. You know, that'll work. But that will be awesome. I want to beat him. And I want to see what all his powers would be like. Maybe something where he does something with time, maybe? Since he has different incarnations of himself in the past and everything. That would be pretty fun. Huh. Maybe just me. I want to fight Xehanort. Next, my number 2 is I want to see 2 specific boss battles return into the series, and these are actually pretty likely to happen since these 2 specific bosses have been bosses in multiple games before. But I want to fight Jafar again, and I want to fight Maleficent again. But well, Maleficent, we've always had pretty good boss battles with her. She's been able to beat us down a little bit until we figured her out, and then we whooped her ass because she was easy, except for her dragon, which you still had a strategy against, but you know, you didn't have all the items you needed, or I didn't, and you know, maybe she beat you a few times before you finally knocked her down. But anyways, she was not so ridiculously difficult that we couldn't beat her, but I want to fight her again, and I want her to be awesome, and I want her to kick my ass again until I can finally beat her, because she's Maleficent. She's a badass. And Jafar is also a badass. Like I said in number 5 and number 4, Jafar is a badass. And I think I said that in number 6 too. Jafar is a badass. I want to fight him again, but I want this one to be different from the past battles we've had against him. Because you know why? Jafar has always been easy as hell in these games. Even in the first game, when you were kicking his ass around the court, around the big circular area place with all the stuff and things. That is a perfect description of what that area looked like, isn't it? But Jafar was too easy. I died once, but that was only because I got trapped in the middle of that freaking ice storm in the middle of the arena, and I never got caught up in there again. It was too easy. Then he turned into his giant genie form, which was even more of a pushover, because all you had to do was not get hit, and his aim was horrible. You just knocked that lamp out of Iago's hand, and he was going to die. It was time consuming, but extremely, extremely, extremely easy. I want to fight him, and I want him to be tough. I want him to be tougher than Maleficent. I want him to be tougher than I'm not going to say tougher than Zainul, but he needs to be tough as hell. He is like the male version of Maleficent, after all. Just do that. And finally, going to move on to my number one wish, anticipation, or prediction of Kingdom Hearts 3. And this is actually a bit of a mixture of all three. I am anticipating seeing it. I want to see it. And what else? I don't remember what else I said, but I am predicting that I will see it too. I want to play as Kairi. Let me be Kairi. I want to be a female again. I love being a female because I'm a guy and I never get to be a female. Don't take that the wrong way, but I want to play as Kairi. I want to see what new power she'll have now that she's learning how to use a Keyblade and everything. And really, I just want to be Kairi. So, please let me be Kairi. I want to kick ass with Kairi. That is my number one wish from you. Do it, Square Enix. I want this more than fighting Zainul. I want this more than fighting Jafar. I want this more than anything else I had on my list. Gaston, go away. I'll be Kairi. I don't care. But like I said, I think this actually has a pretty good possibility of making it because they have already spoken in Dream Drop Distance about Kairi becoming a Keyblade wielder girl person. And yeah. Anyways, that is my top 10 list of things that I am either anticipating or wishing for, predicting, or whatever else I said for Kingdom Hearts 3. And basically, this is all about my wish list for Kingdom Hearts 3. Square Enix, I know you probably won't make all of this happen, but if you could make all of them happen, I would be very pleased. Please do it. You can leave out the Recess World, but I would love to see it. I just don't think everyone else would. Thank you for watching. And let's get ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's got over a year away, but we want to play it bad. Bye.